Alright, so welcome everyone to this lesson. Now we're going to talk about the workflow for the rendering of sand particles. Okay, so first of all, let me just put that ugly things back to their positions. Okay, that's fine. Now, if I just gonna hit the play and we can see that this creature is getting rising again and we can see the flow of the particles also. Well, in this case also it's really very important. So let me just first of all show you with one thing. If I do not use the light, let's say we put that thing to the height. Okay. Now if I have to take the render, you're gonna see a lot of difference. How? Let's say I'm gonna render only the fuse section, or you can say only this region of this creature. Now take down certain important things. First of all, just all right, I think so. Okay, sorry, let me just bring back light back because there is no information in the scene. Or just I need to do switch of the shadow. Okay, just see the impact of the particles without any shadow. Okay, that's fine. Now I'm gonna save the scene for the evaluation. And again, let's say we use the ray trace shadows. Going back to the view, take the render. No, I think so it's gonna take a little bit of the time because since it is including the shading also. And now if I take the comparison, you can clearly see that, guys, here something really very important is happening. Why? Because now these particles are basically supporting the ray trace shadows. But before that, if we do not include the rendering or the appropriate light settings, we won't going to get the depth inside our scene. All right, so that was the point that I would like to discuss with you, and that will obviously going to help you in accentuating your workflow, because I have seen many of the people, they also do like, and since it's the demand of industry also, many a times we have to take the you can say with the help of softwares like Match Mover, or certain like that, we take the camera animations, or we mark the locators and can take the camera animation, and then can use the camera animation again in the Maya, which we can use to create the live action things also. But for that we need to calculate separately the shadow pass and some other important passes also, that will again accentuate the level of our rendering as well as the realism. Okay, so I hope so I made my point clear. Now next we're going to move to the compositing. But before I jump to that, I would like to say it is not required or compulsory to adapt my way of doing things, getting composting. Why? Because I'm using really very simple approach. I'm using again After Effects to bring out the as much as realism as I want, although I insist you in the production, because people are, because they are working upon hard on Nuke and Fusion also. But it's simple but yet very effective. Okay, so here you can see that I would like to draw your attention only to the one aspect, which is the intelligent usage of the particle, n particle, or you can say sand particle pass, because I haven't included that pass in a very raw form. So let's say if I draw your attention towards here, you can clearly see that the small and tiny movements of the jittery, or you can say the sand, is basically creating a lot of realism for me. Okay, let me just roll back for you, and here you can see that. Okay, absolutely, that's very nice, because in this case, if I switched off the layer of the particles, let's say switching off this and switching off this, so that's completely a raw render, or you can say I mean, if I have to see this thing, I can clearly depict that it is good, but something is missing. Well, that something is very important, and that is the usage of the particles. So what I did is that in this layer I have used the screen mode, and just let me just open that up. I have actually provide that thing with some CC toner to go for some color correction, so that I can match that thing up with my fluids also. And also what else I did is that along with that I have included the motion blur to the particles also. That's actually really very important. Sorry, the Gaussian blur. Okay, because I also want my particles to be a little bit blurred, so that they can also add a next level of realism to my fluids also. Okay, and let's just do one thing. I just gonna hide the fluid layer and just would like to show only the particles layer, so that will gonna help you in actually analyzing the things. Although just do one thing, just remove the background also. I think it's gonna be, yeah, all right, that's fine. So here you can see that very intelligently and very, properly I have included the usage of the end particles, because from the render you must have seen it was actually coming or appearing in a very a brighter way, or you can say in a very contrasting way. But here, since I have to get my scene completely matched up with my surroundings, so in that case I need to use them very perfect. And I hope so I made my point clear to all of you guys. Okay, so now let's just move to our next lesson, where we're going to discuss about some important tips and tricks of the fluid which can extend and accentuate your workflow more. Okay,